apprehended. Paul said, and when you think of who said it, here was a man, I said, who had been lashed several times, spent a night and a day in the deep, shipwrecked, lost family, friends. Now who are we? What are we talking about? What sacrifices we have made and what spiritual power we have gained when this man says, with all that he had sacrificed, that all he had given up, I have not yet. That's the first thing we need to do. He said, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind. And we need to turn toward the future. In this country, we in our black communities of America need to stop saying to our young people that slavery is holding them back. There's some truth there. It ought to say it to other people, but we ought not say it to ourselves. I was born 50-odd years after slavery. I knew people who passed through the dark night of slavery, and they came out of that awful servitude with the stench of their enslavement almost in their garments. But they came out and they started schools, they started churches, they began groceries, insurance companies, and here we are 100 years later saying that this has held us back. No, we need to put that behind us and march on to what God has in store for us, forgetting those things which are behind. Then Paul says this final word, I press toward the mark. There are people who claim that our Christian witness is a kind of weak, bloodless, helpless, fragile, faltering, staggering, effeminate, if I may say so, thing. That there's no life, no blood in it. But do you catch the vigor? You catch the fire, you catch the determination. I press. That's not a relaxed word. You can almost see the sweat standing out on the brow, so to speak. I press. The veins are sticking out. Here's a man under great stress and strain. I press toward the mark. And I ask you, do you know what the mark of the high calling is? Christian, do you know that you have before you, every one of us, and I hesitate even to mention it. It sounds so vast and so far beyond us. But did you know that you are destined as a child of God one day to become so much like Jesus Christ that angels looking at one another and looking at you and me, and then looking at Jesus, an angel might ask another, which one is Jesus? Well, does the New Testament not say it does not yet appear what we shall be? But this we know, that when he shall appear, we shall be like him. Like him. But we shall see him as he is. And so Paul says, I press. Sometimes up, sometimes down, sometimes almost level with the ground. But I press toward the mark. Sometimes feeble, sometimes failing, sometimes weeping, sometimes disconsolate, but I press toward the mark. Sometimes in good report, sometimes in evil report, but I press toward the prize. Do you press? And I say to you today in Galilee Church, my brother, I know what it is to have great sorrow. I know what it is not to know which way you're turning sometimes. I know what it is to drench your pillow some nights with your own tears. And I even know what it is to hope, almost against hope, that you don't even wake up the next morning. Life can be very difficult, but press on. Today the battle